Fair Use Daily Reflections. This is a book of reflections by AA members for AA members. December 1st. Suggested Steps. Our 12th step also says that as a result of practicing all the steps, we have each found something called a spiritual awakening. AA's manner of making ready to receive this gift lies in the practice of the 12 steps in our program. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 106 and 107. I remember my sponsor's answer when I told him that the steps were suggested. He replied that they are suggested in the same way that if you were to jump out of an airplane with a parachute, it is suggested that you pull the ripcord to save your life. He pointed out that it was suggested I practice the 12 steps if I wanted to save my life. So I try to remember daily that I have a whole program of recovery based on all 12 of the suggested steps. Courage to Change One Day at a Time in Al-Anon, December 1st. Al-Anon was the first place I'd been in a long time where people invited me back, even after listening to my woes. I'm so grateful that they did because Al-Anon was my last hope. I thought that I would kill myself if I didn't do something about the alcoholism in my home. Later, when members of the group asked me to make coffee, I was happy to do anything to repay them for their love. Yet no payment was required. They loved me whether I was involved in service or not, even when I couldn't love myself. Al-Anon is the only thing in my life that I've been dedicated to, the only thing I've ever felt consistently good at. As I do service work, I see myself accomplishing things, giving, receiving, growing. I see my progress as I learn to learn, and as the lessons become a part of me, I take them into all areas of my life. Today, I like to think that I get to take an active part in the growth of Al-Anon through service. I'm not doing Al-Anon a favor. Al-Anon is doing me one. It actually thrills me to remember that I'm allowed to take part. You let me. Today's reminder. Listening, hearing, thinking, and reading about a spiritual awakening are fine. But if I really want this gift, there is something I can do about it. I can get involved. There is a quote from Aristotle, and it reads, "What we learn to do, we learn by doing." Just for today, Daily Meditations for Recovering Addicts, December 1st. Life's Rewards. We begin to pray only for God's will for us. That way we get only what we are capable of handling. Basic text, page 49. Imagine what might happen if God gave us everything we wanted. A fabulous new car, straight A's, a triple salary raise, all hours without effort, just for the asking. Now imagine the problems that come along with unearned riches, new luxury cars, and unmerited scholastic recognition. What would we do with a huge salary raise that had been granted for no reason? How would we handle our new financial responsibilities? And how would we live up to that raise? Could we ever make it appear that we deserve such pay when we know we don't? What about that fantastic new car? Most come with expensive insurance premiums and hefty maintenance costs. Are we prepared to take care for what we've asked for? Academic honors. Could we perform like A students after we've been given high marks we hadn't earned? What would we do if we were exposed as frauds? When we talk to God, we need to remember that we live in the real world. We earn rewards and learn to handle them as we do. Confining our prayers to requests for knowledge of God's will, the power to carry it out, and the ability to live with the consequences will ensure that we get no more than we can handle. Just for today, I will pray only for the knowledge of God's will and the power to carry that out in the real world. Today, Emotions Anonymous, December 1st. Reflection for today. In the EA program, we are learning to live one day at a time. This can be confusing. Newcomers often say, "What about making plans?" There are certain things which must be planned ahead. Of course, there are life events that require planning, we say. Make plans, but don't plan the results. Don't decide the outcome ahead of time. Put into action whatever is necessary to move the plan along and leave the results to your higher power. Meditation for today. May I become willing to be flexible and remember that you are in control of life now. Today I will remember I can make plans without rigidly trying to control the results. Strengthening my recovery. Meditations for adult children of alcoholics, dysfunctional families. December 1st. Perfectionism. In other homes, the children are like objects of perfection to be displayed alongside. Dinners centered on tables with the fine fixtures, perfect posture, and orderly spoons and forks. Holidays and celebrations bring guests who compliment the parents for sparkling floors and perfect children. BRB, page 37. A more subtle and powerful undercurrent in our alcoholic or otherwise dysfunctional families was ever-present control, although the type of control may not have always seemed clear. Whether our houses resembled museums or they were well-cluttered expressions of love may have been flowery and superficial and had strings attached. The essence of these dysfunctional expressions was not authentic, and we knew it. The actual object of all the cleanliness or sloppiness, the pseudo-expression of love, was inauthentic. Deep inside, our true self saw that the real motive was the suppression of the possibility of admitting that things were out of control. So we bought in and acted out this subconscious conflict to both avoid being ostracized and to keep our own feelings of being out of control from surfacing. Gradually, when the sense of chaos crept into our consciousness as adults, and we hit an emotional, spiritual, and physical bottom, we found ACA. In this humbled state, we were given the gift of recovery as we recollect the memories of our upbringing, admit our terror, and grieve our losses. The affirmation reads, "On this day I will examine the control in my family and the effect it's had in my adult life. I will practice the ACA program to help process the unexpressed traumatic fear and buried memories so that I may be free of control. Please share, subscribe, like, and remember to be the you that you are created to be. If you do not know, take the time to find out. You are worth it and you are worthy. Remember that you are not alone and that recovery is absolutely possible, one day at a time.